Alright, let's get started. It's late at night. Spent far too much time today migrating my server across to a new server, and that was no fun. I was only meant to try one or two domains, and then before I knew it, I decided, whatever, I'm just going to do everything. So it was quite a few individual domains that I had to shift over. Let's see, why is this tilted back, unfortunately? Just hang on. Yeah, you're going to wreck it, Paul. You're going to wreck it. Shouldn't have touched it. Alright. Anyway, let's find out what's wrong with this one. Let's get this battery disconnected and see what sort of current we're pulling. Hey Greg, yep, late one for sure. It's not supposed to be, but it is what it is. Like I said, you lose a lot of time stuffing around with migrating to a new web hosting server. I didn't want to, but I really just couldn't justify the $42 up from $24 increase that they hit me with, especially considering how minuscule the improvement was. Alright. Otherwise, the new build, it hasn't got the right display on it. The proper display should turn up next week probably, but yeah, that's the new board for the current meta. It is definitely bigger than it needs to be. It's just the way it goes. Alright, let's see. Not an X. Have I got that on backwards? I haven't tested these things yet. Here we go. 13, 14 milliamps. Alright, so hopefully we're lucky we've got something going wrong on the input stage. Cool. Also, I have done the new microscope light up, did the firmware. It's looking pretty good now. It'll remember where you set the brightness so that when you fire it up the next time it comes straight back to where it was. That said, there's not a huge variation between sort of like low brightness to high brightness. You can see it. And I think most people will probably end up sitting at around about 80% brightness. Anything more and it's a little bit excessive, anything less and you probably start feeling like you want more. And Jim, alright, what am I doing? I don't know. So yeah, I'm going to be looking for a short circuit somewhere over here. Yes, Jose, it is definitely late. It's currently 1:30 in the morning. Like I said, I really didn't want to be doing a stream this late, but I had to get at least one of these machines done. I've got a bit of a pile up. Hey B-Dog, PR, Pro Services, 3X, Civil Up, Bunty, hey Max. Now the fun thing is of course going to be with the web server transition to see whether the Flexboard View sales go through or not. Because it's quite a complicated process behind the scenes, because you've got to redirect people off to PayPal and then make sure that PayPal can communicate to you what's happened, and then you can update things on your end when you know that the sale's gone through. It's it's not a simple, straightforward process. And then you've got to dispatch emails, which means your email server has to be set up on that new server, and you've got to then get your DKIM and your SPF sorted out. And then you realize that you've forgotten half a dozen things, and then you remember that you haven't set up your reverse DNS yet. So yeah, it's been fun. Hey Micro Repairs, B-Blood, you weren't forgotten. I'm sure I mentioned you. Let's not have everybody having mental issues today. I've got enough to cover us all. Hey Promo. Filthy, annoying 3mm socket. These boards are deceptive in how annoying they are to get out. Oh, good job, Paul, good job. The big problem they have is that they've got all these keyboard backlight flexes, so rather than one flex to handle all the keyboard backlight, they have 3 or 4. I think mental issues are pretty much normal globally. We've all got mental issues. Some of us just pretend we don't. Well, at least the nice thing is this hasn't been taken out of the case. So that's a nice change for me. Normally I'm always served up sloppy leftovers. You watch, I'm going to botch this one up. I mean, I hope I don't, but it'll be just my luck. And I'm also still having broadband issues. I thought it was actually my network over power adapter, but it wasn't that. Or at least it doesn't seem to be directly that. It was just a coincidence that when I moved it, it got better. But I thought it did take you out. Alright. Of course, they hide the damn Wi-Fi under here. Greg, I'm really not sure, to be honest. I mean, oh man, there's liquid damage all under here. I'm equally open to it being my fault as it is the telco. But I just can't pin it down. Nothing obvious anyway. Oh no, that's fucked. Yeah, sorry, I don't mean to be abrupt like that, but this is probably dead. Anyway, we'll see. She's cactus, mate. She's cactus. Or most likely to be cactus. And if it's not cactus, it's going to be zombified. You know, where it sort of mostly works, and then every now and then it's going to not work, and then a customer's going to come back, and they're going to say, it hasn't worked properly since you touched it. It's like, well, it was dead when it came here. So me getting it to come to life was a good start anyway. Ah, yeah, see? I don't know if you can see that, but that is lifted. Yeah, that is an internal burn mark, and it goes all the way around here, and guess what? That's a important voltage regulator there. Yep, that circuit board is shorted. It's dead. Oh, why did it not auto switch? Alright, let's get back to that then. Wow, this thing really cooked. It's cooked long enough that it's burned out everything here. Is that the... And here... So that's not corrosion, that's burn off. Oh, thank you to Dumres. The Dumres has given his every stream contribution. Thank you very much, good sir. That's more coffee for me. Actually, coffee is on special at the moment. It's down from $40 a brick to $24 a brick. So I bought 2 bricks tonight, and tomorrow I'm going to go back and probably buy another 5 or 6. It's worth it. I mean, yeah, I go through it. But yeah, this is more than magic smoke release. This is magic smoke gone. Okay. Okay, the reason why, you see how my thing blinked then? Like that? That's telling me that it's at maximum brightness. Because otherwise, you sit there and you just keep holding onto that button thinking you've got to maximum brightness. But yeah, that's completely cactus. Unbelievable. Nothing to do about that one. Shit. Another waste of my time. I shall bring the brightness back down to where I normally have it. This is a little bit bright on the eyes. Oops, wrong way. That's about where I have it normally. Crap. Well, so much for that. I'll be thankful at least, it's over and done with quickly. No lingering. Quick death. An honourable discharge. What is this? We'll try this next one. Since that was such a over and done with so quickly. Okay, I've got to find out why it's not. Okay, why are you not switching? Cannot find the compass chip. But you're right there. Alright, finally got the compass chip back. Still weird. Come on. Right, so this thing's actually on. Shut it down. Oh, Keith, right. I think now I get what you're saying. You're saying that maybe lightning struck it. Unfortunately, I think in this case it was actually liquid damage. But lightning certainly could have. That's a weird band here. You can't see it? Yeah, you can see that. That's weird. It makes me worry as well. But unfortunately, this is pretty much how most of the jobs are turning up lately. It's a really sad story. So I would go so far as to say 2/3 of the jobs now are dead. They can't be fixed. Alright, so which one was this? Left Thunderbolt port. Well, yeah, the sad thing is there's only left. Okay, one of these Thunderbolt ports does not work properly. It can't be the left one because they both are on the left side. I should say it's not unique. I have been meaning to also get a new version of Flexboard View out. It's hankering to go, but I kind of got distracted with writing the new firmware for the USB-C meter and the microscope light. They required for me to write some whole new library routines because I've switched over to the Tiny 212 and Tiny 414 chips, and they're very different to the previous ones that I've used. And as a consequence, the old bit banging libraries that I use for sending out serial data and for communicating on the I2C bus no longer worked. So I had to write all my own from scratch. And you might be thinking, well, Paul, if you had the old ones, couldn't you just easily adapt them? And unfortunately I couldn't, particularly the I2C, because it was written in assembly. And yeah, I can follow the assembly, but it's often easier just to go from scratch. Fortunately, everybody uses the AVR 300 document as their initial reference for I2C, TWI stuff. But even when I implemented that, it wouldn't work properly on multi-byte transfers on the receiver. Like if I was the master and I say to the current voltage chip, I say, send me 2 bytes of information, it would give me 1. I would say, I acknowledge that, and it would go, that's nice. It wouldn't give me the next byte, because when you acknowledge, it's supposed to send you another byte. And in the end, I was going through the old library, and I noticed that the code in there had one instruction that occurred even though it wasn't specified in the AVR 300 spec. And I thought, yeah, that's a little weird. So I put it in, and it's just a simple instruction. I just pulled the clock line up. All of a sudden it worked. So that was a good waste of a day and a bit. Fortunately, so that other people don't lose their hair over that, I've put it upline on my GitHub page. So you'll be able to see it under the bit banging header or repository. So if you are interested in doing any bit banging, you need to transmit for serial or I2C control, then it's there on my GitHub page. Not many people will probably need to use it because even the 212, they're very well populated with the hardware to do these things. But sometimes you just like to use software only bit bashing, particularly for low speed things like 100 kilohertz I2C and 9600 BPS serial output. That's it. Maybe no one will use it, but at least I know it's secure there now. Yeah, Eric, I don't even know if it is official, if it's correct or not. I don't know whether it's because of the internal structure of the AVR, the way because they're not actually true open drain interfaces as far as I understand. So maybe because of that, it doesn't work right. I don't know. All I know is that once I put it in there, it worked. Do something to keep the clock pulsing. Hey, creature. No, well, you see with the I2C, I mean, you just manually clock it as you need. You don't have a free running clock. It's kind of like a pumped register. And as you pump it, the data comes out. So yeah, like I said, I don't know whether it's an omission in the spec or whether it's simply because of it being an AVR. Just going to check their port. That could be the easiest thing. Ah man, their port's perfectly good condition. Or at least it looks in good condition. Not to say it is. Could be internally damaged. Hey GD Tech. Yeah, the next one I've got to do is I have to rewrite the code for the actual, what do you call it, 16 by 2 LCD panel. But, these ones. But until I actually get my 3.3 volt ones, I can't really do anything. So I just have to keep waiting. So yeah, but this is how they're going to be basically. They're just going to sit on there like that. So it's going to be a little bit cumbersome. I don't care. I'm finding it to be a very useful tool. Had similar issues with STM32 HAL SPR master. You need to send a otherwise clock stops. Hey Derek Chan, you mean you don't get, like, if you get the first byte, but then you don't get the second byte, even if you set the acknowledge? Because that's what I found. Let's see if I'll bring up the code. But yeah, I used the AVR 300, but I thought maybe because it was 2-wire, TWA rather than I2C. I don't know what the subtle differences are. Let's see, GitHub. So let's see if we can find it. I got a lot of comments in here just to make it easier. Let's see. Yeah, so when you're doing the read, yeah, for some reason in here, this is when you're actually collecting the data from the slave. And yeah, if you do not have this SDA high in here, then for some reason when you do finish that and you're trying to set the ACK, when you come back again, yeah, it doesn't work. I don't know whether it is just purely only needed the first bit that you clock, or whether it's needed for all of them, but yeah. So this is not the clock line, this is the data line. I don't know, maybe something is holding SDA down low, but I can't see SDA high. We're looking at, yeah, so there's nothing here. Oh wait, yeah, here we go. So SDA low. Oh, actually now it actually makes sense. Now I understand why. I understand now why. Yeah. Okay, what's happening here is this SDA low should actually be changed back to an SDA high down here after after the slave basically is carried on with things. I think that's the problem. I might try that later, but not now. You're supposed what? SPRTX and receive at the same time. You're supposed to do the transceiver, not read or write. Yeah, I know, creature. When this... Don't tell me what I already know here, you moron. Jeez. I already wrote this code, damn it, man. I know what I'm doing. But I'm not actually asserting high or low here. I'm actually just changing the port direction. See, I'm changing the actual direction, not the actual... Yeah, I'm not trying to assert a high or anything like that. I'm gonna have to slap you, creature, because really, come on now. The code works fine now, thanks to me actually working out what was wrong. And now I understand, though, why it was misbehaving. Because there wasn't in the flowchart an explicit indication that you had to let go, even though it would actually be implied. Because I mean, you're not going to hold ACK down there the whole time. Once you've done your ACK and moved to the next clock, that's it. Let go of it. And that's why. See ya, Greg. Alright, so we've got one port not functioning, so we could have a... We could have a bad... Oh, geez, there's no diodes here or anything. I was going to say, we could have a... This... Oh, yep, I've got it. I've spotted it. Already found. Yay! Someone's missing a diode. Kind of weird though, that's a protection diode, so it actually shouldn't really inhibit the situation. Okay, what have we got? A 2020. I guess the question is, did that diode get physically knocked off? If so, how? Or did it get blown off? It really doesn't look like it was blown off though. Hey Mohammed. I wonder if Creature's actually calling me a twit, or whether he's talking about two-wire interface versus I2C. And if that case, I apologize for the miscommunication. Chat is terrible for miscommunications. Alright, need a board view and schematic here. Let's see, 2020. Wow, I've only got 36 nets on this? What? Slack. Looks like I've got some work to do after this. Alright. Gotta populate these open board database files. Okay, so what are we missing? We are missing this one here, DZ664. Oh, nice. Does not exist. God, I hate it when this happens. It's interesting actually, because unless that's... man, what a pain in the backside. We've got this one. Okay, looks like Paul's got a bug in his code. Weird. Maybe the part names are wrong. I reckon that should just be DZ664. Let's have a look for that. No. Alright. JF600. Okay, so we've got all these DZFs, DZF, 67, 67, 68, 66. What? It's right there. Ah, bugger. Okay, this is something that's a real pain in the ass, and unfortunately I can't do anything about it. But notice how, see that text is not selectable? That means it's actually an image. So like that text is selectable, that text is selectable, but this stuff, it's not. Yeah, for some reason that is not. I can dig into the PDF and inspect it and find out what's going on there. It could be something unique. It could be text, but there's something unique about it that tells my system to not touch it. But yeah, that's just weird, very weird. I really will have to have a look at a PDF inspector and find out what is unique about this. But that's a really big pain in the backside. Yep, this is the same here. Let's see if there's any others that are vertically orientated like that and if they've got the same issue. They're all fine. Shut up, Gecko. Yep, they're all fine too. Typical. The one thing we want, and it's a dud. Anyway, we found it anyway, so let's get back to that. Creature, they're definitely tinned and it's definitely snapped off. Like I said, I'm not sure why that would have affected it working. That's the weird thing. I mean, I can understand, yeah, you know, it just doesn't make a lot of sense for it to no longer be working. You can see the remains of the old pads there. The old fire truck. Here we go. Microscope. Yeah, it's not bright enough. But yeah, you can see the remains of the old pads there. It's there on the nice little square chunks. We can get replacement, but I don't know if it's going to fix it or not, but we'll see. So it's a 2020. I should have a 2020 donor. Not a very common donor for me to have, but I think I've got, what was this? Yeah, I've got 2020 here. Complete with some cat hair. Like I said, my real concern is how did it get knocked off in the first place? As you can see, there's two here that got displaced. So which one are we after? Right, second up from the top mid. So that one there. Actually, this is designed differently again. Oh no, it's not. No, my bad. That's that one there that we want. These are really annoying little diodes. Like I said, my biggest problem is I don't believe that this is actually the fault. The missing TVS diode should not, as far as I can tell, cause the symptoms that they're experiencing. Unless, of course, what's happened is it's been knocked off and then something did come through, as in terms of a shock. And there actually was damage further along that diode line. Hey dog, no, we won't be seeing any kitty cats. In fact, I'm hoping they kind of probably should be asleep when I step outside. Oh, that's a bit much flux. Yeah, that's not going to work. I was an idiot. I should have prepared it before I dropped it in. Okay, we're just going to leave it up there by Miami. Well, it's not really Miami, it's Money. But I call it Miami because that was a little easier to remember on the fly. Worst thing is I do not have a reference for this. Best I can do is see where that line goes. And yeah. Where's that? USB-C not USB-C bot. Okay. Where are you going? UF400. Okay, so there's probably a chance. Yeah, there's probably a chance that the CD3217 has taken a great big dump. And that's this one up here. But I guess we'll test it before we change it, because changing CD3217s, it's a bit of a nuisance. The soldering's not a problem, but sometimes you've got to change them both at the same hit. Cannot say properly tonight. Getting late. But best we just test first. Like I said, I just can't understand why that's happened. Yeah, parts usually don't drop off like that. Let's see if I can actually see it on the chassis here anywhere. Like, if it was blown off by a electrical hit or something like that, we should see the effect of it somewhere. But if it was physically knocked off, then yeah. And I'm suspecting physical knockoff because I cannot see any. There's different. It's a little dot. We'll actually have a look at where that dot is. It's near the Wi-Fi connector on the other side. But that's something different again. Yeah, there's no explosive debris or remnants of it in the location where we should expect to see it. Basically, right here is where it should have been if it had exploded, and it has not. Not to mention that usually when they explode, they leave a fairly obvious mark on the board with bits of legs and stuff like that. Yeah, so we plug this sucker in. So what is the volt? Left one closest to the... Oh, right, okay. No longer will charge. Okay, cool. That's the kind of symptom I like. So closest to the rear. Glasses. Hey, Rilla. This is one of those another deceptively annoying boards to get back in. Ach, nie man. At least this one, oh yeah, it does actually. I was going to say, at least this one doesn't have all the backlight connectors, but it does. Wishful thinking, Paul. Okay. Should be enough for charge. Come on. Okay. By the way, if anyone out there just wanting to be useful, can you check to see that my website is up, like pldaniels.com? It should redirect to a SSL version of it, HTTPS. And also check that OpenBoard data. Oh, I already know OpenBoard data is up because I accessed it with Flexboard View just before. So it should be up. It's more, each individual domain has its own quirks. This is going to reveal information, so I just have to take it off for a second. Okay. Thanks. Okay, thanks folks. Okay, one closer to the rear. Yeah, that is looking like the... That's looking like the 3217 took a hit. Yep. Crap. So yeah, the front one's good. So front one's got 19 volts, no problem. The rear one just... something's either shorted it or it's really not happy. Yep. That's actually quite interesting that in spite of the damaged CD3217, it is letting the other one get up and run. Kind of makes me wonder whether... I'm going to try another connector on it. But maybe it is actually internally damaged on that flex. I mean, that'd be nice and easy. That or we have a short somewhere on one of the inputs. Okay. Interesting. That gives us 100. That gives us a lot more than it did before. Okay, so we still got 20 volts on the front one. Weird. See if anything's specifically heating up. I expect it will be the CD3215. Okay, B-Blood. Kodak, you're talking about this thing here? Yeah, it's just the new incarnation of the USB-C meter. It's pretty damn close for production ready. I just have to get the proper LCD panel for it. Honestly, I'm not really sure I'm going to be happy with the 16.2 panels. So we'll see how we go. Alrighty. One close to the back. And yeah, that looks... Not there. Yeah, the 3215, 17 is picking up. We'll do it from scratch again. Ooh, actually no, something else is coming up there. Something else is coming up. Something over here. Around this area here. That's where it actually heated up. Over here, which is close to those diodes. Yeah, Tony, I know. It's because I've got a serial port issue because I'm running them all off the one damned hub when I should not be. So I haven't bothered to fix it up because it is late and I can at least see it from here. Hey Harold. Christian, yeah, I got that all sorted out. The code is actually up on GitHub now. Okay, yeah, so something around here somewhere is having a bad day when I plug in. Naka-chan, no, not new camera, new light. There's a itty bitty solder ball coming out of that. Oh, and I am running at full 60 frames per second now too. Whereas before I was at 50 and it was sort of... Yeah, so that's solderable. No, it could be ominous, it could be nothing. So what I say we do... Am I running this still? Yeah, what I say we do is we put some alcohol on there and see if anything flares up. Oh, man. Okay, I'm gonna have my back away, so you guys are gonna have to spot it for me. Yeah, that momentarily picked up, didn't it? Wonder what that is. So that's UTT880. Schmidt driver buffer. Okay, it's a little unusual. Not the sort of thing I would expect to see dissipating any amount of power for that matter. And unfortunately, that pin really, far out. Straight to under the CPU, really? Ugh, tips are covered in junk. What is the time? 2:12. Okay, listen, I'm gonna close it up tonight. It's an interesting fault, whatever it is. It definitely does get hot momentarily, which it should not. But unfortunately, I basically have to remove that part, see what's going on around there, and take it from there. It's weird because it doesn't really seem to play a part of, anything else. Oh well. We'll have to leave it till tomorrow. Alright then, folks. I'll say goodnight. Hope you guys have a good day at work. I'll see you next time.